There it is. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. Oh my God, it feels good to be back. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cameos. I am back from a sabbatical. This is Oseanacy hitting you up from Frederick, Maryland.
Why you don't dox yourself? No one needs to know where you are.
My social security number is it feels good to be back. Thank you, Fu and Samson, for holding it down while I was out. I know y'all have had a bunch of great conversations in my absence, so I don't want to get in the way of any of that good shit. Let's dive right in. What's new in the news since y'all last did your thing?
They're kicking me out. I'm being ousted. Free the Fu.
No one's
Free
ousting
the
you.
Fu. Wouldn't you be free if you were ousted? Nobody's holding you prisoner. Nobody's holding you prisoner here.
I guess so. All right, let's read it off. So, since we've last talked, we found out for the Knuckles pilot, which is set between Sonic 2 and 3, a director has been chosen, Jeff Fowler. So, I don't know, Samson, did you have any commentary on that?
I don't know. I need to know if it's a movie or if it's a series.
I don't think it was
like
clear from what
I can't tell. So and I feel like these studios are just cash grabbing now. At this point, I have a friend that we both have a friend that loves Sonic, so they'll be happy. And then the success of Mario will probably propel this even further. But
is it going to be Idris Elba, or they're just going to get Phil Lamar to do it?
Nah, I'm sure. The best voice actor in history. He's the best voice actor in history.
I mean, that is incredibly true. I don't know that he could do a convincing Idris Elba, though.
He just needs to do a convincing Knuckles.
Be Phil Lamar.
Yeah, be Phil Lamar. He does everybody. We'll see. I'm sure it's just going to be like probably a kids movie.
Oh, so Jeff Fowler did the original two movies. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, he did.
You might know him as such famous films as Go for Broke, which is a play on the word gopher. And I can only imagine it has to do with something about a gopher doing some kind of bank robbery. Yeah. This is all he's done. All he's done is these Sonic movies.
Yeah, that's all he needs. These Sonic movies are wildly successful.
And something with Daniel Radcliffe in 2020, Escape from Pretoria.
I've never heard of this before in my life. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this Knuckles. I'm assuming it's a film. I'm just going to assume it's a film.
Do we not think this is going to be like a Shadow the Hedgehog movie? This is definitely going to be a Knuckles thing?
Nah, because they tease Shadow in the second Sonic movie. So I would assume the Knuckles film is probably Knuckles' history.
Right.
And then the next Sonic film, the main antagonist is like Shadow and then the government agency that created Shadow.
Sonic with a gun.
Basically, yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
Sonic Adventure Battle 2, best video game of all time.
It is.
It doesn't matter how mid these movies are.
Don't do that to the movies.
I love Shadow the Hedgehog.
Didn't even watch the second one. No shame. First one was just perfectly fine.
You're gonna get us canceled by one of our biggest fans.
Our sponsors are pulling out already.
Yeah, they're already pulling out. What's next?
Most mid movie of all time.
So we got quite a bit of Warner Brother news, but before we dive into that, I just wanted to share the writer's strike has been approved as of yesterday. Actually, was it today? Yesterday, yeah. So this is basically anything regarding release dates for stuff that has any shooting on or after July 1st is going to be delayed. If there's any reshoots, anything that involves, any from writers, it's going to be bad. SAG, I think, which is the actors or maybe the producers guild, I don't know which one it's going to be. Their contract ends on June. So if there's going to be a strike there too, Hollywood's going to come to a standstill. So we'll see. It's been in 2007 when they did this, that was the emergence of reality television.
Man, now you remember they did this strike, the same strike around the time of like Korra, like season 2. All right, that's when Korra fell off. So I'm not excited for this. Good luck to them in getting their money.
That's because
There's no-
Nickelodeon powered through. They should have just stopped.
Yeah,
I
it
would
should've
rather have
stopped.
waited on Korra.
Because it was not it. Whoever else came in behind the writers, like
All these scabs that
Yeah.
came in. Yeah.
if you need a scab though,
Scabs.
give me a call, man. I'm not a professional writer, so I'll just give you bullshit and just pay me. I'll cross that picket line with bullshit, and then they'll want to give the writers more of what they want. Like we can't deal with this. So yeah, all right, that's tough. That's tough though. Good luck to the writers.
The link that you posted, Fu, was about things that will likely not be affected as far as the MCU is concerned. So like Secret Invasion's probably all set. I mean, that's coming out in like a month.
Anything late post production, no reshoots should be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Marvel's is in jeopardy though. If there's going to be
You think
reshoots
so?
or pickup shots, if there's going to be
Any
anything,
reshoots.
anything but B-roll, like like stuff that doesn't that requires anything not written or whatever, is a problem because of the impending additional strike that's going to come through.
So if there's like one or two just horrible scenes that just feel out of place in the Marvels, if it's otherwise a great movie, then we could blame it on the writer's strike. I don't know.
Yeah, blame it on the writer's strike.
The last trailer I saw for it, and we talk about this all the time in our Discord chat, but like the last trailer I saw for the Marvels, I was like, all right, I didn't give a damn about that movie before I saw the trailer for it. And I'm like, all right, this feels like kind of cool. Like it feels, I wouldn't put it at like an Avengers level team up, which I think they're trying to like sell it as. But I would rather they try to set my expectations high and me go in low and then meet them somewhere in the middle, as opposed to what the MCU has been doing lately, where they're blowing these trailers up like Multiverse of Madness is going to be the next like fucking Endgame type event, and then we go and see it and it's goddamn pizza balls and like musical battles.
World.
I think
the Raimi close-up shots.
Wait, Sam Raimi was in the film? Oh no!
He
The type of close-up shots that he did. Yeah, I got you.
I don't mind the stylized thing as much as the movie just not. It's called the Multiverse of Madness. They went to 3 universes. They spent time with like one of them.
Well, that suffered from rewrites. Hopefully, the Marvels doesn't suffer.
Michael Waldron had to rewrite that script 30 times.
Yeah.
3-0.
A good example of like what rewrites can do.
Yeah, what happened?
Movie. Yeah.
Overproduced.
Yeah.
But this is all before we even got a trailer, right? So at the very least, we have a trailer for the Marvels. So
I feel like the Marvels.
They're probably they're probably good. They're probably far along. Same with some of the DC things that are coming out. Like Blue Beetle probably won't be affected by any of this.
Blue Beetle was
Flash definitely not. Yeah, Flash is done. But maybe Aquaman, which is supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that too. Aquaman. Apparently, Zaslav saw a take and he was not happy with it. It kind of like it feels awful because Aquaman, like nobody gives a damn. The star is gonna be Lobo, right? It's pretty clear at this point. He's gonna. So why? And then they're gonna reset the whole universe in the Flash. So why does anyone care about Aquaman? It's like too much money has been invested into it. They're gonna try to. It's gonna be a Shazam. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Unless the movie's like out of the water, amazing. No.
Nice.
So also all of those are likely not affected. Then they've already been shot.
Yeah. Superman Legacy though. James Gunn said in solidarity he's going to be not writing anything else on Superman, which I think is just lazy on his part. But
I think it's a good sentiment if you want good writers to come work for you later.
That's
he
true.
also
Yeah.
just is that is who he is. I mean, he's always going to be the person who does things like non-corporate-y.
Right.
Until he does.
We got the Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla X Kong movie, the next one, whatever it is. I'm here for it.
I love that movie. That movie is so terrible. I love it.
How do you make 2? Right? How do you make another one?
More Godzillas, more Kongs.
More Godzillas, more King Kongs, more 11 doing a secret spy mission. Way too much of that movie. We spent way too much time.
What's that actor? The old Japanese actor. I don't know his name.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. I forgot his name too. He's
bring
not
more
alive though. I thought he died.
Yeah, bring him back. It's fine. Godzilla brought him back to life.
I assume they like Kong is like living on the island, and then Godzilla is just swimming around again. They have to like bring Mothra or King Ghidorah, and then they got to like jump them. There's no other way to make another movie about.
Who was the
it has to be a team up.
antagonist? Who was the antagonist in the first one? Was it Mecha Godzilla or?
It was King Ghidorah. Was it Mothra or King Ghidorah?
It was something. I don't know. It was like two
Wasn't
things.
Wasn't it a three-headed thing?
Yeah, that's Ghidorah. Sorry, it was
That's
King
the
Ghidorah.
second one. That's Godzilla, King of the Monsters. The first Godzilla had like.
I'm talking about
something.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, that was Mechagodzilla.
It was Mechagodzilla.
Oh, it was Mecha. Okay.
They used Ghidorah's skull, and then
right.
Yeah. Okay, that's what happened. I knew I saw King Ghidorah in one of the movies.
Yeah.
So they got to bring Mothra or some other like antagonist for Godzilla.
They should bring Zilla from 1999.
I want Godzuki in it as well.
Godzuki.
We need Godzuki.
We are here for the Godzilla franchise, y'all.
I don't understand. Like, this is Warner Brothers does this, right? So
yeah,
legendary.
Of all the things that they sunk money into that just are not petering out, don't they know that people just want like giant monsters fighting each other? Like, I feel like it's not that hard to do. Like, people just want to see some like good choreographed fight scenes with Godzilla jumping off of King Kong's back and like grand slamming Mothra, in a cage match. Like, I feel like that's not hard to do.
I think that's something. What they wanted to do is like take their existing properties and their existing IPs, and then just use those to create content. Right. That's why we're getting a Harry Potter show. Right. That's why like they're doing all of these things that seem like overdone. Like, what's another one? Not Twister, even though they're making another Twister movie.
Why did they need a second Twister movie?
I don't know. I don't think that's not Warner Brothers. My point is just everyone's just going to use their existing IP because it's there. Let's make some content.
Right.
So, like you said, people want to see giant monsters fighting. That's easy money, right?
That's how you get with Pacific Rim 2, though. So we got to be careful. Like, you can't just throw crap out there and see if it hits the wall.
Well, when the writer's strike is over, they'll get a good script. If they try to do it now, it's bullshit.
I don't think I want a good script. I just want like the movie to be self-aware. I feel like Pacific Rim just walked that line so perfectly, where it was self-aware, and then the second one just sort of cascaded and just was like, I don't know. It was a mess. I do agree with that.
Yes, thank you, Lucid. You brought up Twisted Metal.
What a
Twisted Metal.
Strange.
That's another thing of like this. An existing IP, let's make something about it. Although it looks kind of corny. We saw the first.
No, Samoa Joe's gonna make it real.
Yeah.
Those who don't know, Samoa Joe's a very popular wrestler. He's gonna be.
He's in it as well with Anthony Mackie
as the titular character from Twisted Metal, Sweet Tooth. So, and he looks pretty.
He's
awesome.
Sweet Tooth. Okay.
He looks pretty awesome as Sweet Tooth. Like, very ICP level crazy. So yeah, they previewed a bunch of stuff at CinemaCon for Warner Brothers. Great reactions for The Flash across the board, honestly.
Which I'm not sure why, but go ahead.
No, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
I don't understand why there are two Barrys. And it's just weird to me. I don't remember any of that in the comics. So unless Thawne is like dressed up as Barry the entire movie just to mess with him.
They're doing Dark Flash.
They're not doing
Eobard.
Dr. Zoom. They're not doing
not from what I saw. All the Funko Pops are coming out as Dark Flash.
Dark Flash? So it's gonna be Flash from that like fever dream that happened at the end of Batman versus Superman, or was it the end of Justice League? Which one happened where they were like in the future and Joker was with them and it was all post-apocalyptic and shit?
That's
I blocked that out of
Justice League.
That doesn't exist. That's not real.
That's a scene real. From all that is a scene from like I'm pretty sure it was Justice League, and then like Flash is like time traveling and telling Bruce to do something.
Maybe he's from that one.
Yeah, but that Flash is not evil. Right? I don't know what's going on. Dark Flash is Eobard.
Nobody knows what's going on. I I don't know. James Gunn didn't really have anything to do with that movie, did he?
Nah, but he said it's
He said it's the
hyped
best
it,
comic
so,
book movie he's ever seen.
even though he made Guardians. So I take everything he says with a grain of salt. I don't think it's like the best he's ever seen. I think he's doing his job.
I'm here for Keaton Batman, so that's what's going on for me. So
I wish they would have stick closer to like the comic or the animated movie where it was like instead of being Bruce, or Bruce is the one that got shot instead of like his parents.
Oh, we're going Jonathan Wayne.
Yeah, if Keaton was
Thomas Wayne, sorry. Yeah.
If Keaton turned out to be like Thomas Wayne,
that would be a swerve.
This is great to me. Mm-hmm. But whatever.
That would be a twist. I agree with that, but I feel like they're not that smart. They're just going to use like Keaton's Batman, all those stories that have already been told. We're supposed to like go nostalgia off of that. I feel like that's how they're going to play it.
Probably. And I would rather they just like take these comic stories and then bring them to life. Like that's what they did in the Twilight Batman, right? They took a bunch of comics, brought them to life. That's what we know James Gunn is doing for the Superman movie. We've seen the notes that he's taking. So, I mean, we'll see if people are excited, cool. But also DC fans are kind of just excited in general to see things. Like they get excited. No offense to DC fans, but y'all get excited for like everything. So
give me Blackest Night. I need to see that story.
Right. Now. Yes. A great comic story. Bring it to life. That's what I want.
Hush in a DC movie.
Yeah, thank you. Hush. That would be fantastic. If they could do that in the Chris Reeves or whatever his name is, his Batman, like Elseworlds stuff.
Yeah, that actually fits really well there.
Yes, it would be perfect. But I don't doubt that he would do that, right? On the other side with the Elseworlds, because everything he's doing, and now we're jumping around in the news because I know it's in there. We saw the first looks for Colin Farrell and as Penguin, right? So, and because of the grittiness of how they're filming everything and how this stuff looks, like Hush would be great over there. Like it looks like they're really like bringing this comic world to life. That's what, as a fan of comics, that's what I want, right? And it just makes for a good movie as well.
Right.
So,
that would be awesome. Lucid in the chat just said a gritty live action Static Shock. My God. Yeah.
No, he's from like the hood, right? He's not like from like
the Wire meets DC. Like
yes,
I want to see like Daredevil level action from Static.
Yes, and then
he's got too much strength. I feel like.
What's the kid from Stranger Things?
11.
The black kid.
Never seen that show.
Yeah, I don't watch it either, but I know the actor expressed interest in playing Static Shock.
You don't think 11? You don't think Millie Bobby Brown would be a good Static Shock? What's wrong with you?
I want an older Static, honestly.
Canceled.
I want a younger Static only because if you watch Young Justice, right, the Outsiders group,
Static is part of that.
Right, yeah. So it's a group of all younger heroes.
Yeah.
Right. So you can have him in the Teen Titans and have him grow. We can still have Black Lightning play a role in some way. Black Lightning is just such a terrible name for a black superhero.
Are they bringing back what's his name? Wayne Brady?
It was Wayne Brady
he played what's his name? Oh, gosh,
I did not watch any of those CW hero shows.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wayne Brady was in one of the CW hero shows.
Was Black Lightning. He played a great villain.
Is there so correct me if I'm wrong. What is Black Lightning and Static Shock are different heroes? It's just one they decided
they're all
give
DC.
a terrible name.
All DC heroes, but like Black Lightning is Static's mentor at some point. Right. Every DC hero has a younger version.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Although like the guy that created Static Shock created him separately.
He plays Gravedigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. I've never seen it. I just watched Wayne Brady clips of him getting like shocked and stuff by lightning. It was awesome.
No, they don't all look the same. Cameos is not racist. I want to defend Oseanacy here. But yeah, what else we got in DC? because
So
we're
that's about it really for DC.
okay.
Again, with CinemaCon and some of this other stuff, with James Gunn, obviously Guardians 3 reactions are out. People really like it. It does getting some mixed critics review. It went down almost to like 68 on RT,
What?
and then it was back up. I don't know what it is right now. If anyone wants to check it, but
It was 77 last night when I looked. I'll check right now.
so yeah, there was
Yeah.
a lot of critics. I think have just hardened on superhero movies. I think is the consensus here, right?
I
People
thought there
were
was
like,
some animal cruelty stuff. No spoilers, but
yeah, don't spoil any of the
well,
plot.
the movie's about Rocket. Like we know that just if you've
Yeah,
seen
but
a trailer. But
if you don't know anything about the comics, you don't know anything about Rocket from the comics.
Rocket
You
sad
don't.
boy.
Yeah, you don't know what
Rocket-
happens to Rocket for
equals
him to become
sad
Rocket.
boy, and the critics are not liking the animal
Shenanigans.
shenanigans. Yeah.
It's all right. I don't. It's not a spoiler to explain. The movie is most likely about Rocket's backstory, or
You know
they explore
that throughout
Rocket's
the whole
backstory.
Thing Rocket explains that
Yeah.
he was experimented on, and like every piece of promotional material has been about like
Right.
oh, this is the dude that did it.
Right. So it seems like they lean into that story wise, which for a film is, to me, that's great. And I think these movie critics are not comic fans, right? And they're not really fans of the genre. I don't consider like James Gunn's versions of the comics, right? When he makes the movies, they're not like typical to me, right? It's not like here's your hero, insert villain, big fight in the movie, right?
Right.
You mean
It's more about the
villain? What?
Hmm? Right. It's more about the characters grow, and like there's other stuff going on.
It's kind of ironic because they did take Ronan the accuser and just throw him away, basically.
Yeah.
Which was
They brought him
so
back in
shitty.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
They recast him.
Lee Pace was like, I'm not putting that makeup on.
Ronan is a great villain too, so that's sad. But I think like I don't really care what the critics have to say when it comes to this. I care more about what we would see from the audience score.
So do you want to know what the critic consensus is though?
What's the percentage?
So it's sitting at 78%, and the Rotten Tomatoes summary is a galactic group hug that might squeeze a little too tight on the heartstrings. The final Guardians of the Galaxy is a loving last hurrah for the MCU's most ragtag family. So yeah, I think the general criticism right now is that this is just a little bit too, maybe it's uncomfortable. It's probably uncomfortable. It probably makes you feel uncomfortable. That's what I gotta guess.
That's fine, man. Yeah, like Lucy is saying in chat, the critics they don't know shit, right? About any of the IPs. If it's a good story, it's a good story. So that's literally all I care about.
David Hasselhoff again, like in Guardians 2.
Guardians 2 was great. Like the Guardians are the most consistent of the MCU films, right? I don't think there's a bad Guardians film, right? And Black Panther's consistent too because there's only two. But like Iron Man 1, 2, good, 3 is terrible, right? Anything where you get to the third one of the Avengers movies is terrible, right?
I went back and watched
the first Captain is terrible. Would you don't like
Iron Man 2? It was.
Oh, I love Iron Man 2. But it still fits
as much money as it did.
I think
it fits my point regardless.
Good, but yeah. Anyway,
doesn't matter. The point is like the Guardians is like the most consistent. Ant-Man 3 is not great, but
Iron Man 3 sucked too.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 is terrible. Like the Guardians are like consistent in how they're presented. They're like consistently good movies. Yeah. So I have faith in this third one.
And Thor 3 was good, but
I liked Thor 3, but the second one was very hard to watch.
I actually like the Dark Elf Thor.
The Dark Elf Thor.
It's really good.
The fourth one was awful.
Talk about throwaway villains, dude. They just massacred my boy in that movie. Malekith is supposed to be like this, like insane, like basically just watch the world burn kind of villain, and they just made him into this like generic albino boy. Like it was such bullshit.
Natalie Portman, help me.
I still enjoyed it.
I think I know we're getting way off track here, but you just said something that is very opinionated, so I gotta clap back. I think Captain America might be, in my opinion, more consistent. The first movie was
Correct.
not the best, but it
No.
wasn't bad. And then the
It's not
second
good.
movie was like 100%. And then
my favorite Marvel movie.
the third movie
Same,
is one of my favorite movies as well. I know Civil War doesn't hit the same for everybody, but it's, I mean, you
Civil
can't,
War's top 3.
2.5.
Oh, okay.
Avengers 2.5.
I know people that don't agree with that.
It's okay. Not everybody has to have critical thinking skills.
Guardians has like I feel like the first Guardians was like a 90. The second one was probably like an 80. And we'll have to see what this third one comes out to be. The second one was fine. I'd give it above average.
Still good. I think the first Captain America movie is not good at all to me. So
all right, well.
And then after that, they're like, yeah, we got to lean into this fighting, and then it's fantastic.
I love 2 so much. It's like my
Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie.
The best, and the fact that was when they brought the Russo brothers in, like that is just makes it that much better. Yeah,
it's really good. Okay, this is back to news though, because we're
Kraven the Hunter featuring Quicksilver as the star.
Oh God, we're going to the shitty
be
part of the MCU now.
the Sony something universe SS. Yeah, but yeah, he's going to be the first R-rated film, and he's going to hunt
for some. But wait, Morbius wasn't rated R?
No, I don't think so.
I watched it and couldn't remember. That's so wild to me.
Yeah, it should be R for like cult leaders in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay. It's sad. I love the actor Tyler James Austin. Is that his name? Whatever his name is. He's like 3 names.
Kick-ass.
Yeah. He's in like I think he's a great actor. I'm sure he'll probably have a great performance. Yeah. I don't know why I can't remember anyone's name when we start recording and then we leave and I know it. I feel bad for him though.
Time. Yeah, the movie was rated like M for Morbin time.
The movie's so terrible.
I like that.
I hate that movie so much.
I like the movie. It was entertaining. But I don't expect much.
I feel like Craven's not going to be the Sony doesn't have a history of making good films, so I feel like Kraven the Hunter is not going to be good. You shouldn't even be making a Kraven Hunter movie anyway. It's kind of a waste.
Didn't they want to make Silver Sable or something? What is it?
They're trying to do the Sinister Six, right? So they
did the Sinister Six.
They're trying.
No Way Home. Except friggin' Venom was at the bar in Hawaii.
And you need Vulture.
In the Sinister Six.
It's Sinister Six is Vulture, Scorpion, Rhino, Kraven, Morbius. Right?
Nope.
I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Lizard. Sorry, Lizard and
no, Lizard isn't in it either. I only know this because I'm playing through the 2016 Spider-Man game right now.
There's multiple iterations.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I think the one that I know is Rhino, Vulture, Scorpion, Electro. Doc Ock is like the leader. Oh, and then you know what? I know that this is like a left ball field because in the game it's Mr. Negative or whatever his name is.
I freaking love Mr. They should have the same actor from the game do Mr. Negative.
Dude, he's so good.
He'd do a great job.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah. So, and speaking of Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse is supposed to be 2 hours 20 minutes, so it's the longest animated movie ever.
I'm excited. That's going to be good.
So blown if that movie sucks. That's going to be.
You could trust me. It's not going to suck.
I really need it to not suck.
I will personally guarantee to everybody listening right now. You can hold me to this. You can
if you
sue
buy
me.
Tickets and it's not good, you heard it here, folks.
It is your problem. Is the answer to that question? It is not the movie's problem. Across the Spider-Verse is going to be amazing.
It already looks good.
So, they got the same director on that, the same writer, obviously studio.
No Spider-Man Noir. How sad.
Yeah, that sucks. No Nick Cage.
But apparently Spider-Man Noir is getting his own thing.
That's fine. I feel like this because if it's like its own universe, right? They've already established as a multiverse for Spider-Man. So you just make maybe an animated series.
That's not going to go on Disney Plus. Sony's not putting their stuff directly there.
It's going to go on Stars.
I was actually thinking it might be an Apple TV thing, and I would kind of be hyped for that because they invest a lot of money in those projects, and Sony has done a lot of deals with Apple up to now.
Well,
that'd be good. Make me get an Apple TV subscription.
Nothing officially has been announced yet, so we'll see.
I think that's the route that Sony should go. Right? Just we don't need individual villain movies. If you're going to keep the Spider-Man, IP, right?
Give me Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Right, or just keep making like Spider-Man multiverse type thing.
What's up with all those rumors swirling around about Garfield coming back?
He had fun. That's what it was. He was so disappointed after the second one that it's just like, I mean, to be fair, it was trash writing. Ugh, why did
he even find the second one anywhere?
Why did he say he needs to bring Electro with him into the facility when he could just beat up the guard himself? I don't understand. It bothers me so much. I literally I was falling asleep already, and then I'm like, what?
Now that you mentioned that it's not available anywhere, I just realized that. So over the last week or two, Sony just put all of the Spider-Man things, most of the Spider-Man things on Disney Plus, including all the Tobey Maguire movies 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm. And then just Amazing.
No Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I was trying to watch 2, I just couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, all right, well,
they're making it disappear.
Yeah.
Yes, and they should bring out Null. They should bring out Null at some point. Yeah. That would be good.
Paul Giamatti return as Rhino, please.
Sinister 6.
Okay, sorry, we're back to news. We're
so Marvel's almost wrapped up. There are rumors. I can speak about rumors, right? Nothing's official. Fantastic forecasting all over the place. We're hearing Jodie Comer. I don't know how to say her name. Fantastic Four, her or Margot Robbie, potentially as Sue Storm. Adam Driver is allegedly all but locked in. And left field, Antonio Banderas in talks to play Galactus. You're going to get your Puss in Boots World Eater. So,
that sounds weird.
It's like,
but I think at the very least, Mila Kunis was on some late night show, and like they were like, "Are you playing? What show was it?"
It was James Corden.
She was talking to James Corden that he asked if she was playing Sue Storm. She said no, but I know who is. So
it's been.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the casting's already done. They already have their team ready.
Allegedly, Johnny, the guy who was supposed to do it, had to back out because of scheduling conflict. So maybe that's what's holding back the announcement. They have to confirm their backups to see who is going to still do Johnny. And it's a big commitment. Fantastic Four, we're looking at 7-8 years in the future at least before they get to fall off like the rest of the stars. So,
and considering that the phase after the Kang phase is the Doom phase, you got to have your Mr. Fantastic ready. That's going to be a big.
We don't know nothing. Yeah. We don't know what's going on. These are all conjectures and rumors, folks. Don't take these spoilers. It's supposed to be spoiler free today.
All right, what else we got?
Last updates are all just stuff for things coming out. Witcher 3 season, third season, June 29th.
The last hurrah for our boy. You gotta watch it just for the respect for Mr. Henry Cavill.
I hope
his last season.
I hope he gained a beer belly for it. Just whatever.
But he left because it's not good. Right. That's why it's his last season.
He left because they want to take it in a direction that is not
doesn't follow the lore. He's like, this is bullshit. So he left. All right, what else comes out?
Transformers: Rise of the Beast. We got the official trailer. Looking awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to see that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. Beast Wars is my shit. So.
I'm not sure how I feel about them using Unicron, but and it's apparently a soft reboot, so that's what's going on here. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. I am all here for it. I freaking love Mission Impossible.
You said Part 1?
Yeah, it's going to be a two-parter. I think this is going to be the end.
With Paula Patton? Paula Patton reprising her role?
I don't know. I know that
the dude from Hot Fuzz is going to be in it. I love him.
Which the skinnier dude or the bigger dude?
The skinnier dude. He's been in the last couple ones.
His name is Sean something.
Penn? Maybe
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn is a completely different actor.
The guy that, yeah.
I'm sorry. Is Ving Rhames also reprising his role?
Yes.
I hope Ving Rhames is still in it. I love Ving Rhames.
Yeah,
okay.
He's amazing in this. He doesn't take shit from Tom Cruise like in the entire time. It's just like, no, we're not doing this. And Tom Cruise, we're doing this. It's like, fuck.
We're doing it. Looks like we're doing it.
So yeah, that's about it for news. Gran Turismo trailer is out. I didn't watch it, but for you wonderful viewers who do want to watch it, comment on our Cameos page and tell us what you thought of the Gran Turismo trailer.
What is our page?
We have Twitter,
just tweet
Twitch,
and hashtag Cameos.
YouTube,
just Google
wherever.
us and then write stuff.
Write stuff into Google.
Spell our name right.
How
2
is
E's.
a Gran Turismo movie going to do any better than that abysmal Need for Speed movie that
I forgot that existed.
Jesse Pinkman did whatever his name
They're
is.
all about that. Aaron Paul.
Gran Turismo movie.
Who is a well-known that was like at the height of his thing. That was like fresh off of Breaking Bad. Need for Speed is a well-known IP. Gran Turismo is like a racing enthusiast, like neckbeard level fucking thing.
But it's Formula One, right? I've never played Gran Turismo.
It's not Formula One. It's like
I don't know why they're doing this.
Enthusiast level cars. Yeah.
It looks like it's
Would
just.
you want to watch a Formula One movie?
No, but Formula One is more popular, so I would assume if it. But
give me a Wipeout movie.
What was the name of the game that you just crashed the cars? It was all about the more points you got for crashing cars. Was that Burnout?
Wipeout, yeah.
Oh, that's Wipeout? Or
yeah.
No,
I think Wipeout is the one with the jet skis. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, Wipeout I think was that N64 game.
Okay.
I think Burnout is the game where like you literally just like you crash.
It is Burnout. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
That's you crash into an intersection and you get a shit ton of points for like the more mayhem you cause. That was a
Burnout Paradise.
Yeah.
Well, based on how the trajectory of them just pulling random IPs,
Saints Row coming up soon.
Right, you'll probably get all these.
A Saints Row game?
No, I'm just saying. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen next.
Good.
We're joking. But honestly, they probably will just start making games or movies out of anything. And who owns the rights to Gran Turismo? Is it Sony?
Yeah, Sony.
It is a Sony.
Yeah,
Sony's distributing. I don't know.
Right. I don't think it's like their studio. I don't think they have like a studio.
No, but if Sony owns the rights to the game, hey, let's just go ahead and make this game into a movie.
Vertical integration.
They'll just keep doing it.
Give me.
Probably not that expensive for them. So.
Give me a Gex. Enter the Gecko. Movie.
Give me a Crash Bandicoot movie. That's what I really want.
Talk. So that
you don't have to talk. It's just Crash spinning around, and then his girlfriend with all the lines, and then Peter Dinklage as the evil doctor.
Canceled.
You're canceled. Just
That's fine.
Have them put in theaters like a playthrough of Crash 4. I'll go watch it.
Crash Bandicoot is not Sony. They're Activision. So
no, I'm just saying random things.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
So sad.
If anything, they might be going over to Xbox in a couple years.
That deal got blocked.
That's a whole other side of the news that we don't talk about around here.
That's the offline Cameos chat.
Yeah. All right.
So that's it for news. Do you guys want to go into Lucasfilm?
Yes.
How you feeling?
You mean Disney film?
Disney film.
So you mean that
last
Mouse Jedi?
Mouse Jedi. Woohoo! The last Cameos podcast, we talked about all the new movies that are coming out, all the new shows. Obviously, Ahsoka trailer dropped. We've got some other content coming through. Potentially another season of Mando. That one that just wrapped was season 3, I think. And then we have 3 movies coming out. One set during the High Republic. One set during the New Republic. So post, Return of the Jedi. kind of wrapping up the Mandoverse, right? So everything Thrawn, for those who have watched Rebels and know the extended universe, Thrawn is like a big threat.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that this will lead to Snoke, and whatever Thrawn has is gonna eventually lead to Snoke taking over the beginning of his stuff and doing there. So if you want to vomit, that's a great time to do it.
All right, can I just say really quick, I think we were talking about this for a second yesterday, or at least me and Sam were. I am so sick and tired of these current Star Wars shows trying to retcon the fucking bullshit that they did during the prequel and then this new sequel, like trilogies. Like they had Snoke. Clearly they had so the new sequel, the newest 3 movies, right, had 3 different directors, and the idea was that they were all going to have their own vision and do their own thing. But then like halfway along, Disney was like, oh fuck, this sucks, and then they just like totally took over the reins and made them do like a specific thing. So like whoever Snoke was supposed to somehow Palpatine returned is like the umbrella that encapsulates my like what Fu you said yesterday, you're like done with Star Wars right now, and I totally get that, because they are just trying to like go back and like rework some of the shit with like arguably good things that could be good on their own, but they're having to do all this like the amount of time that we spent in the Mandalorian talking about how clones are created and shit like that. It's like, come on, man. And my whole point about Snoke, going back to that, is like there was clearly some idea. He was such a cool premise when we saw him in episode, what was that, 7? Whatever the first one with Rey was, the newest of the 3 movies. Snoke seemed like he was going to be a compelling, like cool bad guy. And then what the fuck? What the, like nothing.
They had, I was thinking about this the other day, and I try to block some of this out. I don't go to therapy, but I should.
This is therapy. This is
we're talking to the the ether out there, but they had Justin Theroux in the freaking casino scene in The Last Jedi, and they gave him an almost non-speaking role in turn for Benicio del Toro, who teaches people that you just shouldn't trust anyone. War is war. Like, really? I didn't know that? Are people learning this from The Last Jedi? Like, really? Like, such a waste. Ugh. Let the horses run free. Let the horses someone help me. Free. I'm spiraling.
Yeah, but
I need alcohol.
Yeah, but then the horses running free was like a metaphor for the young Jedi who were stable hands for some reason, and then they got to be free.
I'm so glad my sister died during a bombing run.
I don't even recall any of this.
I did it for love. What?
I do not remember that.
They're not even together in the movie after that.
I feel like I just stopped caring. Like this is terrible.
The amount of shit that they set up at the beginning, and now we've just immediately turned this into like a hate cast on Star Wars, which was not.
We were supposed to be talking about Mandalorian season 3 recap, spoiler free or something.
We can recap it another time, because I need to. I watched the whole thing. I need to go back and rewatch so I can have like my true thoughts. But I think
it's I wish it was like Fast and Furious, where it's like, how did you know that you'd catch me from the car? I did it. Like, I wish it was bad like that, but they don't lean into it. They're really trying to sell it, and that's what bothers me.
I think, like I said this to Sean yesterday, I think The Mandalorian is the best thing that Lucasfilm has done in a while. Right, and to use that to branch into all of these other things, right? To have the Ahsoka show, right? It's a show, right? Hers is a series, which will then in turn lead into another movie that ends The Mandalorian and ends Boba and then ends Ahsoka, right? And starts off all of this other stuff. And I think Sean said Andor is the best, right? Andor's good too. I think
Boba Fett will join the Senate as he grows from city planner. Boba Fett to join this, like
an ally planet with Carl Weathers. I don't know, but like I think it's a good path, right? Like it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, it is, and I give them a
So
lot
this
of
isn't
shit
a
for
hate
that. But
cast.
Filoni did a really good job. For those who wouldn't really watch animation, I encourage you to consider watching Star Wars Clone Wars, at least the last like 2 seasons. I think they did a really, really good job, like making you like I felt tension in some of those scenes in Clone Wars, especially the last season that they released a couple years back at this point. Like when you can see when the clones turned on Order 66. It had more tension in the animated show than it did in what's it called? Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. It was incredible.
I 100% agree with that take. Yeah. I will say though, I was going through I think while I was watching The Mandalorian, and I was like, am I alone in feeling like this is just kind of all over the place and not very good? Which we can get into more, but I was going through Reddit and I found a thread that was like, if you go back and watch Star Wars, the Clone Wars, which is Filoni's like, what he got known for, right? That was where his breakout thing was that
Avatar. Yeah.
Right. If you go back and watch that, you will notice that while it is really good sometimes, it has its misses. And it's just in that last season in particular, it got amazing in those last like after Order 66 was executed, it was like cinema. I mean, it was like top level animation, writing, like cinematography, editing, everything was like dialed up to 11. But
they brought Way Parker for motion capture back. Like,
do you remember that in the beginning of that season, Ahsoka has some little like lesbian like fling thing in the like gutters of Coruscant for some reason? Like it was so random and so poorly. It was like just like shoehorned in there, and those characters were terrible. Like the sister and her pirate sisters, and we have a androgynous love thing. It was weird, and it didn't land.
Yeah. I like to think that they'd set those up so they could sell the last season to Cartoon Network. Like, hey, this is what it's going to be like. And then, bam, just, whips that out on the table for the last 4. That's my headcanon what happened. And then he's like, peace, I don't work here anymore.
Yeah, right. No, it was, overall, it was good. And I do second your recommendation. Like, it's, even if you don't like cartoons, like, go in there. If you like Star Wars, the Clone Wars cartoon was like,
the first couple seasons are a slog, but it gets really good. There are some real hidden gems in there. Anything with Count Dooku is fantastic. He really pulls out the park. You really get the breadth of what happened between episode 2 and episode 3. I think it really does fill the void.
Which is a good note that's when this series takes place. Is like, the movies do a really bad job of explaining that there are like years in between
the animated series, right?
Okay. Years in between the Attack of the Clones and the Revenge of the Sith. In between those two movies, there's like years and years of time.
They kind of just jump into like, we're at war.
Right.
Right. I think you're just made to infer that they've been doing this for a while.
When Yoda was trying to give the orders to the clones, retreat, must return. Man was struggling with the syntax there. It was all over the place. I gotta go watch that again. That was fun. But yeah, it's great. Even Rebels, which is set after the end of the prequel trilogy, and I think it's set a couple years before. Like Leia is in it at one point, and she's like 14 or 13 or something. So I guess it's like a couple years before. Rebels is a little bit more childish at the beginning, but it really picks up, and you forget that it's a kids show at one point.
Doesn't Rebels also do the Bo-Katan stuff? Don't they get into what happened to her?
Everything Mandalorian is all Rebels. You get a real sense of all Mandalore, what's going on, everything.
That's the animated one, right? Or
Rebels is also animated.
They're both animated.
They're both.
I mean, I know Clone Wars. I've seen Clone Wars. I didn't watch Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels is a fantastic watch. There's a lot of like Star Wars lore in Rebels.
That's where Thrawn got explored too. Although I think he was originally from some books, right? And then
he's from the Legends books. Yep.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of content out there, a lot of things out there. It's just for some reason the sequel trilogy just sucked balls.
And
like it was just awful.
While we're talking about that, you heard there's plans to keep
to make more.
I hear nothing.
And bring Rey back. Rey training her own generation of Jedi.
Was that in our chat, or was that something I saw on Reddit where it was like, I don't know if it was Photoshop, but if it was a really good Photoshop of Rey pregnant, and they were
cameos.
Like,
I'm pretty sure that was
motion picture film.
Rey got impregnated by one of the Force ghosts, and now she's gonna have the baby is gonna be Grogu, and they're gonna have to do some like multiversal time jumping to.
Nope.
That'd be terrible. I just hope whatever they do with these films is like they don't just copy the last 3 Lucas Star Wars films and just give them to a new audience. Like that'd be terrible.
I will raise a GoFundMe to get all the money I can to buy the physical copies of this movie from every retail location in the United States, so that no one has to slog through to watch these movies.
The new 3 that are about to come out?
No, for the Rey one.
Cameo's first GoFundMe is going to be for Fu to buy every copy of the new.
I don't want my future children to have to deal with seeing this at all. I don't want. It's like, oh, well, the prequels, that's what people grew up on and they liked it. Yeah, the prequels that were lame and corny, but they weren't bad, right?
Yeah,
like they, they're not worse or better.
They did have Jar Jar Binks though, so let's.
I don't know why Jar Jar Binks gets so much hate. I don't know why. As a kid, I loved him.
He's a Sith Lord, is what he is.
Yeah. I like that the best.
Yeah. But I would hope that the new films with Rey, that they follow the path of like whatever Filoni is setting up with and with Jon Favreau and like the Mandalorian and all that stuff, then go into whatever's happening with Rey. Like keep the same that like momentum of storytelling, because I don't think that level of storytelling is bad.
Ezra Bridger is a Jedi from Rebels. He was a kid in the Rebels show, and he'll be featured in Ahsoka. We saw him; they're looking for him. He took Thrawn to the Outer Rim, or like the points beyond, to have him, outside of the Empire, essentially. And Thrawn allegedly made his way back. In the trailer they showed, I don't know where they showed it. It's not public yet, but so you'll see him.
Rebels is an essential viewing then.
I would say for that movie, heck yeah, it's going to be essential. So, but one of the things I was going to say is when, and I'm about to reference The Rise of Skywalker. Hold on here a second. When she was hearing all the voices of the Jedi, Ezra Bridger was not one of them. So Ezra is allegedly alive post, Palpatine bye-bye. So maybe he has a hand in all of that.
So he's a Jedi master waiting to train.
Well, I don't think he can be a master, because he wasn't.
How would he be?
Can he be on the council and not be called a master?
But how old would he be?
Who was his tutor? Was it Ahsoka?
It was Ahsoka.
It was Kanan.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. How old would he be for the Rise of Skywalker stuff? Like at that point.
So he was around the same age as Luke.
Okay, yeah. So he should be
like 50s. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a scene in Rebels. It's one of the best scenes in Star Wars. I'm not even gonna spoil it, but it's like a sad scene. But yeah, it's great.
Was it Rebels or was it another series where Obi-Wan was back for a brief little stint?
You mean Obi-Wan, the series?
Yeah. No, it was a.
He was in Rebels, but he was like old man Obi-Wan.
Right.
And
yeah, he versus somebody.
Darth Maul.
Yeah. Okay. I
Who
was gonna spoil
survived?
it.
Spoiler.
But it's in the book, right?
Yeah,
He like or Darth Maul keeps surviving and
Darth Maul needs to die. Like, if you only watched the most popular movies, you'd be like, what are you talking about, Darth Maul? Like, he got cut in half at the beginning of the first movie. That dude keeps coming back over and over again.
Yeah.
His brother's name, by the way, is the best name in Star Wars. Savage Opress.
Savage. I always pronounce it Savage.
I'm calling it Savage. Just
call it Savage.
His whole backstory is so dope, though. He comes from like a planet of like fucking witches, and like it's like a matriarchy. The fact that like they didn't do anything with any of that in like the newer. Why are they gonna do Snoke and goddamn like Finn and Poe being gay but not gay, and like there's just so many missed opportunities where they had like this amazing material like right there. That's just a point I want to make, is like, so
you kill off next on Side Out. Ugh.
I told Sam yesterday that I think Andor was amazing, you know, whether or not you agree with that. But I think one thing that is like undisputable is that there is so much like the foundation, like the world that they have to build these stories on is so solid. And I think that's why it's so disappointing when they miss the mark. Like, I was trying to get a GIF to play in my background, but I wanted that thing from Boba Fett where it was.
Oh, the black guy, the like Power Rangers and Boba Fett for no reason.
Bullshit. Like, that shit hits so hard when it's just terrible, because there's like so much good shit there. And that just like Savage Opress, which is corny as shit, but like, dude, those were some of the most amazing episodes. He was literally he was like a giant version of Darth Maul.
There's a Palpatine fight scene in that series. I'm not gonna spoil too much.
So good. It was so good. His whole backstory was so good, and then they just like who man is the executive chair is like, it's probably too complicated. Everybody thinks he's dead. It's like, come on.
That's why I think they can, like, going forward, really bring these stories to life in the way that they should be brought to life. Like, they have essentially a clean slate if they're starting with the Mandalorian and like moving that forward and branching everything out, and then culminating it all with one film.
I disagree with you, though. I think they spent particularly too much time of this last season of The Mandalorian, circling it all the way back to what we were supposed to be talking about originally. I think they spent way too much time talking about all this other bullshit during this last season of The Mandalorian to let it like be its own thing.
No, I agree, but I'm saying
talking
that
about clones and fucking
but they do all this to like set up for, all right, we've gotten this out of the way in these shows. Now let's write a movie using all this lore and like a good story and like truly bring this stuff together. I think they can do that now. That's what I mean by
apparently Kathleen Kennedy interfered this season a little bit.
That too. She kept interfering, and now she's fired.
Blame the woman.
Wow. Allegedly.
She's over at Sony.
So people are always like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy was awful, blah, blah. Kathleen Kennedy was the reason we have Mando, was the reason that Filoni and Favreau are in the positions they're in. He's done a lot of good for the franchise, but it's like someone who mugged me also, like, you know, maybe paid for McDonald's or something from me. Like, I appreciate that I got McDonald's out of this.
They mugged you and let you keep your wallet with your ID in it.
Okay, no.
It still hurts. Card. You can keep that shit.
So it's easy to forget. It's hard to forget.
Well, see, I'm like optimistic, especially given like Bob Iger is back in charge of Disney.
Is he?
In general? Yeah. He's back over Disney, and they've made it a point. He is, right? I'm not crazy.
I thought I read.
Wait, is it not Bob Iger?
Yeah, it's Bob Iger. Chapek is gone. Iger's back.
Yeah, about to say, yeah, he's back.
Okay.
China's going to start distroing stuff.
Yeah.
So goodbye, any person of not white on any poster for Star Wars. You see that one with Finn is like, it's like this big. the Chinese poster, like,
Finn peeking through the door. No, I think if they're making a point to like really hone in on the Marvel stories. I would hope they do the same with the Lucasfilm stories. And then speaking of Lucasfilm stories, May 5th, we get Visions Season 2.
It also happens to be Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, Cinco de Mayo.
And the day of Jonathan Major's court case.
And,
yes, it is.
And my birthday, which is
stop doxing yourself.
That's got to be.
You told them where you live, and you told them your birthday.
I think it's like Ash Ketchum's birthday or something too. It's a big day, guys.
It's a big day.
Is Giovanni his dad? Is Giovanni Ash Ketchum's dad?
Who knows? Probably.
That's the rumor in third grade I remember from.
Oh, Ed Guardians 3 also this Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like Tomato said, Cinco de Mayo is a very stacked day.
Yeah, you're gonna try to see. Feige's gonna sweat more on the red carpet of Guardians 3 than he ever has. What about Jonathan? I have to go. Sorry.
Yeah, seriously, that's all anybody's gonna try to ask him about in any interviews for Guardians, because they haven't released anything about him yet. Disney hasn't made an official one way or the other. Oof.
Terrence Howard is
Terrence Howard's returning.
As long as Jonathan Majors doesn't try to invent his own version of math, I think we're all right. That's what Terrence Howard did, and
let Terrence Howard be with his albums. Hopefully, he's in Visions. I want to hear a new Force song like we got in Vision Season 1.
Visions.
And I want it to be Terrence Howard playing the guitar.
Vision Season 1 had some of the coolest animation that I've ever seen anything, which I mean makes sense because it was literally the whole premise of the show. But like, god damn, that was awesome.
Just have Mappa do all of it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Bones.
I hope Mappa does an episode. Oh yeah, Bones too. I need to see the studios that did things. But we'll see all this Friday. This is all like good Lucasfilm content that we're getting. All well told stories. Because regardless of how I feel about the Force singing episode, it was still a well told story.
In Japanese with English subtitles now.
Yeah, I did as well. Yeah, I did do that. But this is just a bunch of good Lucasfilm stories. So I'm hoping that that trend continues, right? Especially when it comes time for the Filoni films and all of these things that are on the pipeline and on the horizon for the future. Yeah, that's my like 2 cents or whatever. And that's
don't watch any of the sequel trilogy on Disney Plus. Don't let Disney know that those numbers are not.
I actively avoid it. I watch everything else but those 3 movies.
I watch like all these new Star Wars shows and whatever, and Disney's algorithm still is not recommending those movies to me. They're like, nah.
Don't worry about it.
You probably won't like this. Like
they should have it so that the kids can't see it. Like the filter should just block those out.
Yeah, you need a special filter to watch the
sequel trilogy.
I just don't know what they could do, man. Like I feel like I don't want them to pretend they never existed because I don't know. But at the same time, like
Captain Phasma was so cool. What did they do?
Phantasm, I was just about to say, dude, you had fucking Brienne of Tarth in there, and she had a whole thing that she was gonna do.
Oh, you're gonna fall now.
What did they do? They did some like will they won't they shit with Finn and Poe, and they got their fucking lesbian goddamn
the little kid at the end. You can be a Jedi too.
I think they can keep those 3 movies and then kind of just like what happened in those 3 movies doesn't really matter going forward. We don't have to reference them. We can reference these other things.
Throw it away. This is part of that was the Skywalker saga.
No, they don't. I'm not saying throw it away. I'm just saying like the things that happen in those 3 movies don't matter for the continuity going forward. You can just start like, all right, you know who Rey is. We don't have to introduce these characters anymore. Let's just move forward. Remember, we had Ahsoka, we had the Mandalorian, we had Rebels, we had all this other stuff. Right, that's all that matters.
It's like, so what? You did Coke in college. That's fine. Just move on.
Yeah, like right. It's like when Coca-Cola. Remember, Coca-Cola had Coke in their drink
or some shit.
Look, Coca-Cola had Coke in their drink and didn't even change the name. We said, all right, no, we're still Coke. Just forget about it. It's a thing that happened. Don't worry about it. It's not in there anymore. Let's move on. They could just do the same thing. Right?
I don't know where this optimism is coming. This is misplaced optimism if I have ever.
We've named good shows, like we've named like Andor, right? Mandalorian, right? Rebels.
Okay. Can we talk about can we talk about the Mandalorian season 3?
Do we have time to talk about Mandalorian season 3?
We have 7 minutes. I think we could talk about it.
All right, we can talk for 7 minutes about Mandalorian season 3.
Listen. Unless Fu is gonna go back and watch it and then have
that is true. Fu hasn't watched it.
I don't think.
No, I'm not gonna watch Mandalorian season 3.
I don't want to do that to myself. He's just gonna like reach down and punch himself in the balls 8 times, one for each episode. Listen, okay. As somebody who really, really liked season 1 and season 2, season 1 of the Mandalorian like set high expectations for me like moving forward. I was like, okay, Jon Favreau knows what he's doing. This man started the fucking MCU. He's coming over here. He's doing the same thing with Star Wars. Let's fucking go. All right. Season 1 was a banger. That was a space spaghetti western to a T. It's like he got Star Wars. Season 2, I had to go back because I was like, did I actually like season 2 or was it just kind of like some misses or hits? That show had a fuck ton of bangers. That was where at the end of we got Ahsoka introduced in that season. We got the handsome deputy cowboy. What's his name? The pretty boy, skinny white dude that I can't remember his name, but the sheriff, the deputy, whatever the fuck his name is. That was when Luke came in to train Grogu. Like season 2 was a lot of bangers. There was that heist that had what's his name, the bald comedian motherfucker.
Bill Burr.
That was so great.
Yeah, that was good.
This season literally just felt like they were phoning it in the whole damn time, and I cannot put a period on that point more than Jack Black and Lizzo cameo. Period.
Was it worse than Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones?
Yes, because they were like, and this is what Sam is about to say. Here's my rebuttal to his rebuttal: is like they knew what they were doing. Those are the type of characters like they were supposed to be goofy and silly, and it was like it was already some shit that I did not care about happening. It was a side quest episode where they had to go and impress these people, and then we just get this like bullshit side story where it's just like, oh, look, it's Lizzo and Jack Black. They're crazy, wacky guys. And I was like, we are 5 episodes into this season, and I need to know what the fuck is going on because this is bullshit.
And Doc Brown is in it as well. Doc Brown is in that same episode.
But he was good. I mean, he was good. And honestly, he's like...
It was unnecessary.
He blended better than Jack Black and Lizzo.
It was just as unnecessary. My whole issue is like every half of every episode is just like unnecessary filler. They're kind of just doing stuff, and then it's like main story. Like this really matters at the end of the day. So it's like every episode is 20 minutes longer than it needs to be because it's like random things in the beginning that they're doing. And
I'd rather some episodes be different lengths than others, but I think they're thinking about syndication.
They did. There were actually some variations in episode length.
Yeah, there's variation in time. I'm just saying in general, there's an amount of time that's like wasted, right? You don't actually need this part of the story, right? You only need this part over here, but you just waste time in the front just to fill like 50 minutes, right? Or you want to fill 45, like however long the episode is. So it's literally filler.
This is you defending the show?
No, I'm like, okay, I didn't disagree with you. My point was like, my issue isn't like casting Lizzo and Jack Black and having them do things. It's the fact that the things that they're doing doesn't matter, right? This doesn't matter in the grand scheme. They don't even need to do this. They could have just went straight to where they were trying to go.
What a grandstanding ovation for the season. It doesn't matter what they do.
Just the half of it.
3, like,
half of it doesn't matter. The other half does.
I want to see. Watch that.
give me like Jack Black and like a Mandalorian helmet that doesn't fit.
That would have been a way better. That would have been a better episode.
Yeah. Give me Lizzo with like 6 tentacles.
That probably would have been better too, honestly. It's just nothing against them. It's like I don't care about them. I care about the story of Mandalore. Right? That's literally all I needed from this is Mandalorian, all the things that Mandalorians are doing. If you had Lizzo and Jack Black doing things with Mandalore, of course, this is perfect. This is fine. It's just they're not even doing things with Mandalore. It's like, hey, can you go solve this mystery for me before I introduce you to the people you need to meet? What? That is, it's a waste. And they did that in a lot of episodes. Just a waste of time in the beginning, and then go do some other stuff later.
Just like Cyclops in X-Men 97 to the Blackbird. They used to do that so they can cut on animation costs. Because apparently them running was like super pricey.
But I'd rather just say, yeah, straight to the Blackbird. Do that in Mandalorian. Just straight to the Blackbird. Go exactly where you need to go. All the other stuff is a waste of time. But you're literally doing quests for Carl Weathers before he'll help you. Even though he's going to help you regardless. Like, you don't have to do that.
Carl Weathers is the persistent cameo. I refuse to believe that he's an actual Star Wars character. It's just Carl Weathers in the Star Wars universe. That's what he is doing now.
I imagine he's his character from Arrested Development.
Yeah. You can make a stew. You're trying to make a stew for everything.
You got some bones here. Just they meet up at Burger King, you know.
But that's my only issue with the Mandalorian. It's just the unnecessary quests that they're doing in the beginning of every episode that you don't
without any spoilers. My 30-second critique is a lot happened. Some of the most important shit that has happened throughout the 3 seasons happened in those 8 or 9 episodes, whatever it was. But
8 episodes. Yeah.
It felt phoned in the entire fucking time for me. I felt like that whole 3rd season was phoned in.
A summary of text been more useful to your time.
It would have been more entertaining, I think. It was.
Maybe with like Mandalorian music in the background.
It just felt phoned in. Go back and watch it, man. You could just tell. They're not trying as hard. The directors, the writing, the editing, the cinematography. Like, there's a couple scenes at the very end which are like, okay, this is cool. Why didn't they do more stuff like this? Just go back and watch the other episodes. It's like, besides those, like that thing that they do now in cinematography where they like have a really panned out shot and then they like zoom in like you would be zooming in on your cell phone and it's like supposed to make it look real. I don't know.
Watch it. You'll see. Watch it for yourself. You can I think you'll see what both of us are talking about. I don't disagree with Sean. But I think they're
back now, and I'm just like slamming in at 150%. Wasn't it easier when it was just you and Fu just getting along all the time?
Typically, I wasn't listening really too much earlier before that, but according to what Samson said, Oseanacy, you like stuff that other people don't like, and you dislike stuff that other people like generally.
I don't think that's true. I think I fall into the Stan camp on a lot of things.
Yeah, I hate a lot of things. I hate most things.
So. I think Sam and I are aligned on a lot. I think Star Wars is ironically one of the few things that we hadn't agreed on, because I really liked things up until Boba Fett, and Sam was the haterade. But
I hate everything.
Now
Spaghetti Western wasn't doing funny.
And Sam, I feel like the bar was just so low for Star Wars. He was like, "This is kind of fun, Bo-Katan. I like."
No, because I enjoy the story. I like a concise story, right? So season 1 of Mandalorian is just like spaghetti western. He kind of just doing stuff. I don't like that at all. And then season 2 is like a main,
so much better.
There's a path. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm enjoying this. And then season 3 continues that same path, but then they just throw spaghetti westerns in the middle of each episode. Like, I don't care.
Why was Kylo Ren shirtless? Why did Kerry Russell have a character? Why did Kerry Russell have a character that has a freaking helmet? And we could have just had any voice actor do her. There's no emoting. She wasn't even in the suit most of the time.
Pedro Pascal, they must pay that dude so much money to just like walk around. Just
he's not in the suit like three
a tin can. Yeah. All right. Well, look, it feels good to be back. Sam, Fu, thank you guys for having me back on what is arguably your podcast at this point.
It's ours, man.
This is our thing. So let us know what y'all thought about this. I'm sorry for making it so what's the word? Lively. But
It's good commentary.
That's what we do here.
Hashtag free the foo.
He's locked in the basement. He's actually just over there, just chained up. All right.
Oh, don't forget to listen on Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever else this podcast can be found.
If you search Cameos, 2 E's.
2 E's. Yeah.
Cameos, 2 E's. Yep.
Yeah, and follow Samson on his Instagram at beep.
What? I was like, wait, hold on. What? I don't have an Instagram.
Go visit Sam's new house. The address is.
Cameo's paying the bills.
All right, y'all.